Metro on WDET. I'm Robin Vincent. We've been talking about political organizing, knocking on doors, collecting signatures, convincing your neighbors to care about who owns the power grid. But underneath all of that is something simpler. People talking to each other. Research backs this up. People who socialize more are more likely to participate in politics, to vote, to show up at meetings, to put money behind a cause. So what does it actually take to get people out into the world and into each other's company? What are the barriers? And what breaks those barriers down? Ian Solomon has many thoughts on this. He's an artist, a journalist, and an organizer. He's the founder of Amplify Outside, which works to get Black Michiganders into outdoor spaces. He hosts the PBS series Ian Outside on Great Lakes Now, and just joined Planet Detroit as its outdoors reporter. Ian, welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
So, first, Amplify Outside gets people together in the outdoors. Mm-hmm. It works to increase access and representation to outdoor recreational spaces for Black folks in Michigan. To do that, you need to get people out of their homes interacting with one another. What does it look like to get people to engage with you and others and enjoy the outdoors? How do you reach them and what do you say?
Well, Amplify Outside really started as an experiment and an accident. It was people just wondering and asking me, how was I getting outside? How was I going around Michigan, the Upper Peninsula? Like, what does this look like? And it started as a social media thing. Like, I was just making videos saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Here's what it looks like. Here's how you can get involved. And it got really popular really fast. And so what you found was people are hungry for getting involved in the things, for getting outside, particularly outdoor recreation in my field. And all it took was kind of this nudge of saying, hey, you can do it, and also showing them what's possible, demystifying the situation.
Can you talk a little bit more about what you think really resonated with people with the social media clips, with the images, with the videos that you were putting out there for folks?
One, I think Michigan's landscape is awe-inspiring if you allow yourself to see it. So I think just people seeing that first and foremost, like, oh my God, this is in our state. This is a couple hours away. Second, it was really seeing, I think, a Black person from Detroit, someone who looks like them, someone who speaks like them, dresses like them in these spaces. And it's kind of matching that visual experience of this awe-inspiring place that is in your backyard, and then this person who is also in your backyard. And it makes things, to me, I think it just made it possible for people, and it got them excited because also I was excited about it. And I think that energy kind of transfers through the social media realm.
Yeah, it was going against some of the imagery that we for too long have seen, which is a lot of white folks dominating outdoor spaces. I mean, you got this idea in Colorado, and I lived in Colorado and Wyoming before that. And I will say, when I was living in Wyoming, 10 minutes from the ski resort, you know, I could roll out of bed and be on the mountain. It was incredible. I see the smile on your face over this, Ian. I noticed on that mountain, that big, beautiful mountain, that it was not very diverse. And it did send a message to me, and I think to other non-white folks, that like, am I supposed to be here? Is this for me? Was that a similar feeling that you were having when you were in Colorado, and did you then just take it further?
Absolutely. I think for me, it was really, we were at Black Canyon of the Gunnison, which is an international dark sky park. And that was the first time I had ever seen stars like that. You know, you could reach out and touch them. And it was such a profound experience that I think I just recognized how many other people weren't having it, especially me at that point. I was outside, you know, all the time, and I still hadn't had that experience. And so for me, it was like, wow, what would the world look like? Like, maybe I'm being a little woo-woo here, but what would the world look like if everyone got to see the stars like this? If everyone understood what the night sky actually looks like? And that just got my mind working about, how do I get more people outside? Like, what can I do? How do I share it? What can happen? And it just snowballed from there.
It's not woo-woo. It's hopeful. It's something that we need to hear, I think, right now. It has me wondering how this has changed the way you think about bringing people together to gather and enjoy one another and their surroundings.
Yeah, I think one, it's made me realize it's a little easier than we give it credit for. I think people want to gather. Like that was the clearest sign. I remember our first event was a sound healing on Belle Isle. And, we just threw it up on Instagram. We were a completely new organization. And
what is a sound healing for folks that are saying, okay, this does sound woo-woo?
Right. So you get like sound bowls and gongs and chimes and all these things. And basically what you call it if you're a practitioner, you say we call it passive healing. You're supposed to just lay down and let the sound heal you because, we're all made up of vibrating molecules and the sound vibrates with our bodies and our bodies are really intelligent. And so if you allow your body the time and the space to heal itself, it will in a lot of ways, mentally and physically. And so we brought that practice to Belle Isle, and I believe about like 120 people came to lay on the ground at Belle Isle.
For a sound healing, that is quite impressive because I'm guessing that maybe among those folks who were laying on the ground, you had some skeptics. You had some people who really had no idea what they were even laying down for.
Totally. I mean, every single one we did, and we're bringing them back this summer. I'm so excited. Every single one we did had a grown man who had never done it before crying at the end. And it's just like, I don't know why I'm crying. There were so many people who walked away really like awestruck at the experience and didn't know what they were getting into, but like left with something where they're thinking, oh, I think there's something here I had never considered. And that something is like just a connection to people, right? Because you're around a ton of people. It's community based, but then also the space. You're touching the grass. You're on Belle Isle, which obviously is a beautiful place. The birds, all of the sounds are mixing in with these sound bowls. It really is an integrative practice of like community and healing.
So you're talking about the transformative nature of being among other folks, of being in community with people. And so you're getting to see this as the organizer. And then folks who are participating are feeling this, of course. But we know it's not all hearts and unicorns.
Right.
In your work, when people disagree with one another or they get into conflict with each other, how do you work through that tension? How do you help people to resolve it?
Oh, it's all about trust. It's so trust-based and trusting that someone else has the same mission as you. Someone else really wants to get this goal done. We're all going to have different ideas around how we could get to it. But if you can trust one another and know, hey, I know you want this for this community. I know you have your best interest in heart, or everyone's best interest at heart in all of your ideas. It allows you, one, to approach their ideas, right? Because it's not just about forcing your idea out. You want to really be able to listen and say, is that a better idea? Is that, is my idea less effective than that? So really being able to look somebody in the eye and knowing, hey, I know you want this too. And so I'm willing to take everything you say and really integrate it. And I'm willing to share with you, and we can figure this out collaboratively. There's always some type of disagreements within organizing. I mean, it's genuinely constant, but it comes because everyone cares so much. And as long as that care is aligned, you can find a middle ground.
Does finding that middle ground and seeing how that care is aligned mean asking more questions when people are saying things to you that you disagree with, instead of replying with how you feel about something? It's asking a question?
Absolutely. I think being inquisitive is like such a powerful tool. Getting a deeper understanding of the situation of a person. The more questions you have, the more information you have. And again, you can integrate that information into what the mission is, what your ideas are. Everyone, I think it's always better to listen before you speak. I mean, I say that speaking into a mic.
But you are listening to me very intently as well when I'm asking questions. Right. So I will give you that. And I know that you ask a lot of questions for a living as well. I mean, you're a journalist in addition to the organizing work that you do. So you're asking tons of questions, and we're going to get into that in a moment here. But I want to kind of envision the ideal trajectory from your eyes. When a person gets more socially engaged in life, how does that ripple into other areas of their life? Do they become more politically involved? I mean, that is what the research says. Is that what you also see?
Absolutely. I think being more socially involved does a few things. One, it just makes you more aware of how other people are living, more aware of the causes people are interested in. It just widens your world into what you should care about. And then it also, and this is a huge one, it makes you accountable. When you get into a community, when you socialize, when you make friends, you become accountable to them. You feel accountable to the material reality of their lives. You know, when you're alone, you don't feel as accountable to that person who may not have a home, who may not have something to eat. But as soon as you're in community and you see that person over and over and over again, it feels a little different if you know that what they need, they're not getting. And that's what changes the game is accountability to someone else, to a larger group bigger than yourself, because that demands that you keep asking questions rather than speaking.
And as you talk about accountability, then that is making me think about political organizing as well. I mean, I realize you're not a political organizer, you're a social one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering what you think are the differences of organizing for a social cause versus an explicitly political one? Or is it that it's all politics?
It's all politics. I think that's what really drove me into the organizing around outdoor recreation, was that I recognized it was a great way to introduce people to the politics of outdoor recreation, right? Like, I often call it work that feels like rest, because it's super inviting. People get it's kind of daunting to join a political organization, especially if you've never done it before. I think you're worried about stepping right, stepping left. But when the first invitation is actually just a, hey, come meet people, come enjoy each other. And then it's like, are you enjoying yourself? Well, here's the politics of enjoying yourself, you know, like it's sort of a Trojan horse, like, oh, come on in, you know, the water's fine. And also, this is serious. And now that you've created some community, you may feel accountable to this community. You may feel accountable to this experience. You may be more willing to take the risk and be vulnerable, because organizing is so vulnerable. Allowing yourself to join a community to organize is vulnerable. So getting to that place is important. And I think you find that in political organizing or social organizing. And I think social organizing is a perfect door into political organizing.
Can I put you a little bit more in the hot seat for a moment, Ian?
Sure.
I'm wondering what you've learned about your own vulnerability in organizing.
Oh my God, so much, which is that you don't want to fail, and it's impossible to not do that. You want to serve everyone and feel like you're doing the right thing, and there's only one way to experiment. Even Amplify Outside right now, we have gone through so many, like, what is this? How do we serve the community? What are the gaps we really need to fill? And I have felt so many emotions around that. Guilt, excitement. I mean, you name it. I have felt that around this organization, because again, you feel accountable to what you're doing, to the people that you're trying to serve. But what I've had to lean on is that people trust me and I trust them. And so there's no reason to have those, ill feelings around it. It's just about trusting that you're aligned with this work and you're dedicated to this work, and the other people are as well.
In the last minute that we have here, I again want to go back to the fact that you just joined Planet Detroit as its outdoors reporter, and we're all really looking forward to the upcoming coverage we'll see from you. From your perch, how do journalism and organizing coexist?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, journalists gather so much of the information that organizers work with. The first thing that Amplify really did back in 2022, because I went back in my journalism brain and I was like, okay, I'm making all these cases. What's my source? Where are my numbers? What's my research? And we launched a survey so that we could get data, because once you have the data, you can make a case in a completely different way. You can't organize without facts. Like, you have to be able to bring numbers. You have to be able to bring experience and prove these things. So yeah, it's everything. Journalists provide the foundation for organizing.
Thank you very much for making the case for journalism, Ian Solomon, and for making the case for social connections, something that we all could stand to prioritize a little more. Ian Solomon is the founder of Amplify Outside, host of PBS's Ian Outside, and the outdoors reporter for Planet Detroit. Ian, thanks as always for joining us on the Metro.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
It's the Metro on WDET. I'm Robin Vincent. Coming up, gentrification is a big buzzword. We'll dig into how it's taking shape right here in Detroit. That's next here on the Metro. Stay with us.